With conscious manifestation becoming something that is so much more widely known, while I wouldn't say it's mainstream yet, it's definitely having this like emergence. Like you can see, for instance, there's so many, YouTube channels, people on TikTok talking about it, people on Instagram talking about it. Like it's definitely becoming more and more widely known. And I feel like something that I have noticed in my own personal journey as someone who's been interested in manifestation for years, have been utilizing it more from like a law of attraction lens rather than law of assumption. It's really only been in this past year from understanding law of assumption, consciousness, everything like that, and to where I'm at now, where I can see the missing pieces were, and what I think so many people get caught up in cycles, because I was caught in these exact same cycles. And the main one is just the embodiment piece. Like, I truly feel that everyone really thinks that they are consciously manifesting. Like, you learn about law of assumption, consciousness, however you come into this realm, and you're like, okay. And then you binge watch all this content, you consume all these other creators, and you just have so much conceptual knowledge on how it works. You know that you're the creator of your reality. You know that circumstances don't matter. You know that everything begins in consciousness, in awareness. You know that whatever you are aware of or whatever you believe or assume to be true about yourself, about the world, about relationships, love, money, whatever, it's going to get reflected out because, you understand, you've read it all. Maybe you've been on Reddit and you've seen all the success stories, or you've heard people in the comments just talking about their successes. You're at a point where you can't go back. You've been exposed to this knowledge for better or for worse. Obviously for better. Sometimes it may feel like for worse when you get stuck in a cycle of like, okay, well, everyone's manifesting and things haven't changed for me, but I'm doing all the things, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I want to talk about, is because the fact is you came to this awareness for a reason, right? Like there is still so many people who don't know that you really are the creator of your reality. They don't actually know how things work. You do. And that's why it can feel so frustrating, because you're like, I know this knowledge. I know I actually am the creator of my reality. I understand it, but you're still just understanding it from a conceptual level. And most of the time, I feel like it's actually that you're just not applying it. You're not practicing it. You're not actually showing up and being different. You're still that old version of yourself that now is just trying to be a new version. So basically, you're just still a variation of the old you, of the old identity, but it's just a slight difference, whereas now you're just trying to be someone new. So that's the reality and the projection of your 3D experience that you're getting. And I understand how frustrating it can be, because I feel like this was me. Like honestly, for months and months and months, for weeks, I would just be, scripting like every morning, every day, mental diet, like all the things, right? And I was like consuming all this content. So I was like, I know how things work, and I have manifested so many things in my life. So I was like, what the hell is going on? And it feels super frustrating. But when I got really honest with myself, I realized that I actually still wasn't like fully 2 feet in, completely embodying that version of you, like being like, I am this version of me right now. So if that is the truth, and I know that as my truth, not only are my beliefs, my assumptions, the way that I'm perceiving everything, but also like how I'm showing up on a day-to-day basis, like my behaviors, my habits, like what I'm doing would be completely different, because it's not just like one change. That's why it feels like, and you can delude yourself into thinking, yeah, I'm consciously manifesting, because you've added in, this one new statement, or maybe you're like affirming or doing saturation sessions or visualizing at night or whatever it is. Or maybe you've added in subliminals, all the things. Maybe you're doing all 5 of those things and more, yet nothing's changing. And so you're thinking, oh, I have to do more. The go-to is like, I just need to do more things, or I need to saturate my mind more and my awareness, when it's actually, who are you being? Who are you showing up as on a day-to-day level? Like if you woke up this day and you knew you were this person, the way you would interact with everything would be different. right? You would respond differently. You'd hold yourself differently. You would walk differently. All of these things. It's not just changing one thing about yourself by adding in one new affirmation, because that just means you were still the old version of you and now you're just trying to be someone new. Whereas, like, this is a total change. This is a transformation in who you are across the board. And I mean, if you listen to certain people's success stories, like, you will see very clearly this common thread most often of, like, once they took the focus off the thing, off the desire, and they started focus on being the person, the version of themselves that has it right now, that's when things shifted. Even if they had been, scripting for months, or they had been affirming for years, or whatever it is, it's like the moment you actually recognize you are that person, so that decision actually bleeds into everything you do. Like I said, you show up differently and you behave differently. Let's give an example. Like, you're deciding you're a successful, I don't know, YouTuber, business owner, like whatever it is. Okay, if you are that person now, I mean, part of that would be obviously creating content. So if you're like this old version of you that's just affirming, okay, yeah, I am this successful YouTuber or this business owner, but you're actually not doing anything that reflects that in your day-to-day behaviors, and you're just procrastinating, then you are not fully embodying that version of you in all levels. Like I said, it has to be across the board. It's not just your mentality and your perception. Like, it's literally all of that. There's no room for gaps, because that's your identity. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, oh, you have to do more, or you got to take these certain actions, or putting on these rules. It's just about you recognizing and being really honest with yourself. It's like, okay, the version of me who is a successful YouTuber compared to the version of me that isn't, like, they are showing up differently. They have different behaviors. The successful YouTuber is probably posting more consistently, or is not second guessing all these things, is not looking at their subscribers or their following count. It's the same for everything. Like, you want to grow a big following on your TikTok account. Like, do you think the version of you that already has a big audience, or is already successful, has all their videos go viral, whatever it is, do you think that they're constantly refreshing their feed, going and looking at every single time one person, likes their stuff? Like, no, they wouldn't have time for that, because they'd probably be influx with all of these likes, all of these comments, that they wouldn't even have the time and energy to reply to all of them, because they're just constantly in this inflow of so many comments, so many likes. Like, they're getting notifications all of the time. They're not just waiting on that external validation of, like, oh yes, I got another like, you know what I mean? Like, it's things like these where I feel like people aren't recognizing, like I said, that it is a whole tangible embodiment thing. And no, that doesn't mean that I'm saying you have to take more actions. Like I said, I really want to emphasize that, but it is about recognizing there would be different behaviors. And it's like, once you make this decision of, like, you actually are this person, those behaviors and those actions are gonna feel natural, because it's an extension and it's just a natural reflection of who you've chosen to be as that identity. Like, let's say something, for instance, like, you are someone that is like clean and tidy. So let's say before, like, you were a really messy person, and your house was a mess, or you'd always really struggled cleaning up, and now you decided, no, it's actually super easy for me to keep my house clean and tidy. Like, I love cleaning up. I'm a super disciplined and devoted person, and I love having my house to this standard of cleanliness. It's like, once you make that choice, and then let's say you've got a pile of dirty dishes, and you just take that natural action of, like, yeah, I clean this up because I am this person now. This is a natural reflection of who I am. It's not going to feel like this really hard thing that you're strong arming yourself to do. It's like that behavior, because that is you, and and you've chosen in your core as, like, this is me. Like, it feels natural. It honestly feels natural. And I can say this because I feel like as soon as I made the decision and stuck with it, and that's why you hear all the time in the manifesting community, persist, like stick with it, normalize it. Like the version of you that has all the things you want, these things are normal, these behaviors are normal, the way they perceive things are normal, the way they show up and speak and do this, it's just, they're not even having all of these thoughts or second guesses or doubts or everything else about it. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is who I am. And I'm telling you, the moment that you do that, it actually instantly quiets all of those thoughts. And once you're showing up, like I said, on a 3D level with your behaviors and everything that you're doing, that's in alignment with that decision, like you will just feel so much confidence because you decided that you are that person. And exactly, there's no rooms for gaps. There's no rooms for that old identity or that ego to come in, because it's like, oh yeah, she's saying she is, a successful YouTuber or a successful business owner, or that she's really cleanly. And then look, she chose to clean the dishes. She was super productive. She made her bed. She did all of this stuff. It's like the actions and the behaviors are instantly reflecting that. And then your thought patterns throughout the day, you're perceiving things differently, whether it's about money or whatever. Like when you're spending money, you're like, it's just natural. It's just easy. You're just saying things like, oh yeah, I always have more than enough, or whatever it is, because it's like, that's who you are. You're not feeling all anxious and worried and running away from bills, and like you've got like these messages coming up and you're scared and you're frightened and you can't look at them. Like you are just handling things so differently and you're perceiving things from a completely different lens, because you are a different version of yourself. You are a different identity. So that's why I think this embodiment piece is missing a lot in the conversation. And there are, a lot of people out there that I feel like do make it really direct and really simple and are about helping people. But it definitely, I think, is true that, of course, and again, this goes beyond just manifestation, but there's people that come into anything because, it's trendy or it gets likes, or, it's they think it's like a gimmicky thing and it's just so easy to get people in and, for their own agendas and whatever. Or they're concerned with, looking a lot smarter and like, oh, they have, this really different newfound revelation of like how they understand the law or manifestation, all these things. And it's like, you go and watch that and it's giving you this, quick dopamine hit of like, oh, wow, yeah, I've never thought about it that way. And it's keeping you stuck though in an illusion of like, you're feeling like, oh, okay, you've shifted because you've got this new awareness or increased awareness. But it's like, you don't need more awareness. Especially if you're watching this video, I'm sure that your awareness is already perfect. You know about the law, you know about manifestation. You just need to apply it. You actually need to apply it, because that's how you're going to transform. And I mean, like, what is the point of having this awareness and having this knowledge and knowing you truly are the creator of your own reality if you're still not experiencing the reality that you want, if you're still not experiencing life in a preferred way? Like, what is the point of this? I know that everyone says knowledge is power, but like embodiment is power, because that knowledge, no matter how much you have of it, it's going to be completely meaningless if you are not applying it and it's not actually changing your experience here in physical reality. Because I truly believe, and we can go about it from more of a spiritual perspective, but again, the highest spiritual truths about existence should be and are applicable in every moment in day-to-day life. They are meant to be practical. They are meant to be applicable. They are meant to be simple, that you can actually apply it, because they are the same thing. Like, they are two sides of the same coin. All of this deep spiritual wisdom is designed for us to use it to actually enhance our experience of physical reality here, and remind and show everyone through us embodying these teachings and this knowledge, and inspiring others to remember who they truly are, and bringing them back to themselves, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. It's actually realizing who you are beneath all of this and as awareness, and it's bringing it back to yourself, because you are the epicenter of your reality. Everything is coming from you. It's literally a projection of you. And so if you're still in this state of, trying, like you're like, you feel like you are this version of yourself, and now all you're doing different is just adding in these affirmations, but it's coming from a place of desperation. Like, you're trying to convince yourself you are this, like you're forcing, there's so much force and there's so much frantic effort. Why? Because you don't truly believe who you are, because you're not choosing that. You're not embodying that right now, you're still so tired on getting the thing. You're still like, I need the external validation and the desire to be here, to feel good, to feel confident, to feel fulfilled, to feel like, oh, I am empowered and I get this. Like, no, it's actually such a privilege in the moments when, let's say, like nothing's happening, or it feels like nothing's happening. We always know that everything's happening behind the scenes. We just can't see it from our sense perceptions because of how limited it is. But everything is happening as soon as you say so, as soon as you decide. It's about you sticking to that decision and holding the frequency, like holding that identity no matter what. Because it's like, if you can be moved when things are, you know, a little bit difficult or they're not showing what you want, you don't truly embody that knowledge then. You know, it's like the whole point of this is for you to get so practiced and so strong within yourself that nothing's going to move you out of your identity. And when that happens, it's like you are showcasing to everything, you are showcasing to reality that this is who you are. Like, you know that to your core, good, bad, neutral, ugly, whatever, it's not going to shift your identity, because your identity is before all of that. It's not something that can be taken away from you, right? Whereas we know that circumstances come and go, all these things shift. Like, if you're basing your inner state and your sense of identity and like who you are on all of these external things, like, you're always going to be at the mercy and at the whim of them. And, you know, I'm sure if you've come into this world, you're learning about conscious manifestation, law of assumption, all of this stuff, you're fucking sick of doing that. You're sick of that pattern. You're sick of going back and forth. You're sick of being stuck in cycles and loops, and you actually want something to change. But for anything to change, you need to change first. And like I said, it's not just one change. It's not just one little thing, one shift. This is like a total transformation in who you are, who you identify as, how you show up, how you see yourself, everything. If you are claiming to be a certain someone, then be that person. Show up as that person. Talk as that person, you know, like move like that person. That's who you are now, and there's no going back. If something out there can define you or tell you that you're something different, then you never really shifted in the first place. And I'm saying this from a place of like, I get it because I've been there and I know how frustrating it is, and I know what it's like to be on the other side of it. And so really, like, bring it back to you. Forget about the external, like literally forget about it. I'm not saying exactly you have to be delusional and, you know, not operate in the 3D. Like, of course you're gonna navigate and show up and interact with it and do all of the things, but like, don't make your state and your validation dependent on what the 3D is doing, because we know that is old projections, that's old beliefs, it's old assumptions. It can't validate you. It's not going to show you anything new. You are shifting in awareness right now. You are shifting in consciousness, and you're holding that. You're holding that forever. You know, it's not just until you get the thing and then you go back to the old you. It's like, this is who you are now. This is a lifestyle. This is forever. This is why the embodiment, I think, is so, so integral. And it just seems like it's a big missing piece of a lot of the teachings and the people talking about this out here. And I feel like it's something that, yeah, really took me so long to just understand. And I just see so many people caught in these cycles, and it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to keep struggling. You don't have to keep suffering. You just have to choose you.